Why do people truly fall in love with you? Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people feel irresistibly drawn to you? Why their attraction seems so intense and unshakable? Is it simply because of your personality, your looks, or your charisma? Or could something far deeper be at play beneath the surface? Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers in modern psychology, believed that love is never a matter of random chance. According to Jung, there are two powerful reasons why people fall in love with you, and both are deeply rooted in the unconscious layers of the human mind. In this video, we'll uncover Jung's captivating insights into the nature of love, focusing on concepts like projection, the anima and animus, and how people are subconsciously drawn to you, not because of who you outwardly appear to be, but because of what you symbolize in their inner world. We'll explore the unseen psychological forces that fuel attraction and reveal the two essential reasons why love happens. Reasons that reach far beyond appearances and reflect the deep structure of the human psyche. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community for early access to future videos and valuable guidance on personal and spiritual transformation. Let's begin. We often romanticize love as a magical coincidence, a spark that lights up out of nowhere. But Jung believed even the most spontaneous romantic attractions follow an inner logic, one designed not by fate, but by the unconscious mind. And what we interpret as instant chemistry is usually the visible outcome of long invisible forces, inner experiences, unresolved emotions, and unmet needs that shape our hearts over time. Behind every seemingly accidental connection lies a deeper structure, a silent architecture within the psyche that guides us towards specific individuals while bypassing others. This brings us to Jung's concept of projection. Every person holds hidden images inside them, pieces of who they are, who they used to be, or who they yearn to become. These fragments often get repressed, pushed aside, or buried in the unconscious mind, but they never truly vanish. Instead, they linger, waiting for the right moment, the right person, to be activated. When we encounter someone who resonates with these hidden parts of us, we feel magnetically drawn to them, not by logic, but by instinct. It seems mystical, even magical, but what's really happening is that we're recognizing something of ourselves reflected in the other person. Imagine someone who spent a lifetime being cautious, emotionally guarded, or afraid of being vulnerable. When they meet someone who's fearless, expressive, and emotionally open, they're immediately captivated. That feeling is more than simple admiration, it's a deep internal resonance. The other person embodies something suppressed, a possibility that's been buried under years of internal restriction. The connection feels real because it is. But what's really happening is the unconscious mind is reacting to an opportunity for growth, and the same works in reverse. People might fall in love with you not for your outer qualities, but because you unknowingly embody something they feel is missing. A trait, a strength, or a presence they've been unconsciously searching for. In that moment, you become the missing puzzle piece, a living symbol of something they haven't yet developed within themselves. Reason 1, you embody something they lack. This goes beyond the cliché of opposites attract. It's more accurate to say that opposites reveal what's absent. A logical, cerebral person might fall for someone deeply emotional. An introverted soul may be drawn to an outgoing, social being. A disciplined person may find themselves enchanted by someone spontaneous and free. However, this admiration can sometimes shift into dependency. If someone doesn't realize that the qualities they love in you are traits they can develop within themselves, They may begin to depend on you unconsciously, not for love, but for emotional fulfillment. And once that internal need shifts, or once you no longer fit their idealized image, the bond can break. That's the danger of projection. It builds a connection on illusion. And when reality shatters the illusion, the love that was built on it starts to fall apart. But Jung's insight didn't stop at projection. He took the idea even further by introducing the concepts of anima and animus, powerful archetypes that represent the unconscious image of the opposite gender within us all. According to Jung, every man carries within him an unconscious feminine image, the anima, and every woman carries an unconscious masculine image, the animus. These are not just personal preferences or social roles. They are deep, mythic patterns shaped by early relationships, especially with parents, and by universal symbols of masculinity and femininity embedded in culture, story, and the psyche itself. Over time, these archetypes become powerful emotional blueprints. We carry them with us, often unknowingly, until one day we meet someone who seems to match that internal pattern perfectly. When that moment comes, the attraction can be overpowering. There's an uncanny feeling of familiarity, a sense of having known this person for lifetimes, even if it's your first meeting. It can feel like soul recognition or destiny. But Jung warned us, this isn't cosmic fate. It isn't proof of a soulmate. It isn't proof of a soulmate. It's your psyche projecting its internal blueprint onto another human being. Reason 2, you awaken a powerful unconscious image inside them. You match, not in physical traits necessarily, but in essence, the image they've held within for years. And when you appear, you ignite a deep, emotional response. That's why the connection feels so intense and so irrational. It's not about your actual self. It's about what you've come to represent in their inner world. But here's where things get tricky. When someone falls in love with the inner image they've projected onto you, they're not truly seeing you. They're seeing an ideal, a fantasy, a psychological creation. You become a screen for their inner movie, a role written long before you ever showed up. As your real personality begins to shine through, with flaws, contradictions, and complexity, that fantasy begins to unravel. What once felt like divine perfection now feels messy. What once seemed sacred becomes confusing. Tension builds. Disillusionment follows. The ideal collapses under the weight of reality. This is why many passionate relationships start with bliss and end in heartbreak. They're not built on shared understanding, but on subconscious archetypes trying to express themselves in the real world. But no person can perfectly embody an archetype forever. Still, despite the confusion and the pain projection often brings, Jung didn't view this as failure. Quite the opposite. He saw it as a necessary step in our growth. Love is not just an emotion. It's a force for transformation. Everyone we fall for reflects something back to us. Some people mirror our hidden strengths. Others reflect our fears. Some awaken our creativity, while others expose our insecurities. But no matter what they bring, each relationship serves the same higher purpose, to move us closer to wholeness, a process Jung called individuation. When someone falls in love with you, they may believe they're seeing something magical. And they are, but the magic lies not just in you, but in what you awaken inside them. You aren't just a person, you're a symbol, a turning point, a psychological invitation to grow. And the same applies to you. The people who shake you, challenge you, even break your heart. They're not random. They're messengers. They hold meaning. They're catalysts for your inner evolution. Some people appear to awaken dormant qualities. Some teach lessons you've avoided. Others reflect back your soul, either clearly or distorted, depending on how ready you are to truly see. Not all relationships are meant to endure. Some are meant to disrupt. Some are meant to break old habits. Jung called these meetings synchronistic events, not logically explainable, but rich with meaning. When someone enters your life and triggers something profound, it may not be coincidence. It may be a signal that transformation is already underway. Even painful relationships are not mistakes. They're part of the unfolding story, especially the painful ones. So why do people fall in love with you? Oh, because you either reflect something they desperately need, or you reawaken something long forgotten. In both cases, the love isn't just about you. It's about the other person's unconscious journey toward growth. And the same is true for you. You fall in love with people who represent your own hidden parts, your inner blueprints, and those who carry keys to your next stage of becoming. But if you don't become aware of these patterns, you may stay stuck, chasing the same types, repeating the same relationships, and living the same emotional cycles. You might think you're just unlucky in love. But the truth is, your unconscious is still trying to teach you a lesson you haven't yet learned. Jung believed the solution was awareness. When you start understanding your own projections, archetypes, and relational patterns, you stop searching for someone to complete you. You begin to complete yourself, and from that place, love changes. It becomes grounded, honest, free, no longer driven by fantasy or fear, but by truth and wholeness. Because in the end, the deepest love isn't about finding the perfect partner. It's about waking up the parts of yourself that have long been waiting to be seen. You don't just fall in love with someone else. You fall in love with the version of yourself that they help you discover. Through Jung's lens, we see that love is never just about the other person. It's always a sacred journey back to the self.